Okay, hi class, welcome to Module 1. So in this module, we kind of introduced the whole idea of personal branding and what we're working towards as graphic designers that are approaching graduation and contemplating introducing themselves to the professional hiring arena associated with the design industry. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through this presentation here in Module 1. But before that, I want to kind of go through some of the elements in this announcement right here. So I want to talk about Module 1 in 1 second, but let's talk about the late policy. Review that, and we've got the final projects here to kind of describe the final projects, and the rubrics are right here. So go ahead and take a look at them. Little blurb here about what you should be thinking about when you're looking at the rubrics for the final project. Little information on your required website. So that's important. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. And then we have these wonderful resources that to help supplement your understanding and your knowledge of branding yourself as a graphic designer. So these are really great resources. This is a wonderful little video. And of course, we have the textbook information, etc. So what I want to do is I want to kind of take a look at this Module 1. The first paragraph kind of describes what we're working towards. The second paragraph is really super important. And what does this say? This says, how are we going to approach, asks you this question, how do you want to contemplate how you're going to approach branding yourself, right? And so there's two really different kind of schools of thought here. And if you think about this, all right, so I'm John Smith. I'm a student graphic designer, right? So how am I going to brand myself? So you have a really important decision to make here. So you can brand yourself with your name, okay, John Smith Graphic Design, for example, or by some kind of organizational identity. Let's say I'm John Smith and I have a little freelance business on the side called Creative Room Graphic Design. Okay, so how do I brand myself? Do I brand myself as Creative Room Graphic Design, or do I brand myself as John Smith Graphic Designer? I highly, highly recommend that you brand yourself by name, by your given name, as opposed to some sort of a organizational entity that you like to use to represent yourself as a designer. And this is very, very important because you are marketing yourself directly to potential hiring professionals, whether it be a studio, an agency, etc. So it's important, the most direct route to brand yourself is by your name. After all, they're hiring you, not your organization. So you can keep your organizational name that you use for your freelance work. That's great. As a matter of fact, after the class, you'll learn how to brand that organizational entity if you elect to continue using it upon graduation. For the purpose of marketing yourself with the intent of being considered for a design position in a studio or an agency, it's really important to brand yourself by name. And I think that really the reason is it's the most direct marketing and it will yield the most memorable results. Okay, you're only giving somebody one thing to remember. That's your name. Then two things to remember: your name and then your organizational. The name of the organization that you prefer to represent yourself. Okay, does that make sense? It's really important, guys. If it doesn't make sense, get with me. I'll try to clarify it. It's really, really important. So now it's not required. Nowhere in the class is it required that you brand yourself by name. Okay, but please understand the importance of that consideration. All right, so at this point, let's jump over to the module itself. Okay, so personal branding, module 1. This is really important stuff, right? But when we get into this, let's get into module 1, personal branding. I'm going to pop this open. And when I do, you're going to see a plethora of wonderful resources. Okay, right down here, reading and resources. This is really an important area of every single module. So definitely want to get into that. So exactly, this has got some really fantastic resources to help you understand what exactly branding does for you as a design professional and as a student that's getting ready to enter the job market. Okay, I recommend looking at all of these guys. Now I want to draw your attention also to this right here. This is 200 cool personal logo designs for inspiration. I want to just open this up and I want to show you something. Now, note that every one of the designers have branded themselves by their given name. Okay, every one of them. So again, this just kind of points to the importance of establishing branding based on you, the designer, not you with an organizational name that you prefer to use. Does that make sense? If not, please let me know. But there's just example after example here. Some are monograms, some are word marks. All are effective, and I think all point to personal branding as opposed to trying to brand a specific company, right? So really, that's such an important consideration, guys. That's why I keep on kind of ringing on that, as it were. Okay, so at that point, let's jump back to the module and let's go to discussion. What's your branding style? So really think about what I've said in the last 6 minutes when you approach this discussion here. And note again, here is this 200 tool personal. That's the same site we just looked at with that approach in branding yourself by name as opposed to by organization. And then of course we have this 1-2 final project review. Take a look at that. Okay, so that's what we have for module 1. And again, guys, it's so important to you that I mentioned this in my introductory video, Introduction to the Class, and I want to repeat that. I think it's worth repeating for this Welcome to Module 1 announcement, is that if you have any questions at all, guys, and I'm going to say it again, I'm a really nice guy. I'm super approachable. So, and it'll just be a few days before you guys realize that. It's not my style to make you feel like you're not getting things if you have questions. I welcome questions. As a matter of fact, I enjoy answering questions. I'll be very thorough with your questions. No question is too small. No question is too big. If required, I'll create a dedicated video to address your problem specifically, your issues specifically, if that's needed. The point I'm trying to make is I will go to any length to help you in understanding any kind of concepts or learning outcomes, objectives associated with this class. My goal, of course, as I said in that announcement again, is I want everyone in this class to completely understand how to brand themselves. And of course, I want everyone to get an A. So that said, guys, welcome to week 1. I will see you guys in discussion board. And again, one more time, I just want to reiterate the importance of contacting me at any time that you feel that you need any sort of clarification whatsoever. All right. Again, guys, welcome to week 1, and I'll see you guys in discussion board. Thank you very much.